Anderson at number 5 still. So he's got ranking points that he'd like to add to, as it were, or add on to that current ranking. And for him, I suppose for Jimmy Anderson here, it's been a quiet series so far. This is one final test, literally, of his abilities and his ranking. In the batting, while we're at it, let's look at the batting as well. Joe Root at number 2. That's been a sort of a constant battle, hasn't it, between Steve Smith, Joe Root, Kane Williamson and A.B. de Villiers. A.B. has gone down a wee bit. The other 3 very closely grouped at the top. And that can change performance by performance. But Root has been brilliant at times during this series. And again, you know, anyone like him will want to finish, want to keep that form going, therefore finish on a good note in this test match in Centurion. And while we're at it, I suppose the issue of the world rankings, people will look at the world rankings thinking, yeah, England currently 5, they'll go up. So they're currently 6, they'll go up at the end of the series, whatever happens. But they've got a bit of work to be done over the next couple of years to try and get to number 1.
Yeah, I think their biggest challenge probably is going to be next winter in the subcontinent, Bangladesh and India playing on those spinning pitches. We saw India prepared for South Africa. They'll do exactly the same for England. So the challenge is to find another spinner to back up Moeen Ali and their playing of spin. But given these conditions, they're brilliant. OK, more on that in due course. First of all, let's just have a quick look at what's coming up after our live coverage today. Live coverage throughout the day on Sky Sports 2, followed by highlights at 6:30. The verdict at 7:30. Charles in the chair with Bob Willis, Mark Butcher and Alex Stewart. It's an all-Surrey affair tonight. It's S-U-R-R-E-Y. OK, out to Centurion. A debut for Stephen Cook. He'll be very interested to see what happens off this Centurion pitch, which normally gives something to the quicker bowlers at the start of the game. We'll see what happens, obviously, in another 30 seconds or so. But he's very proud to have made his debut eventually. He's been knocking on that door for a long, long time. He's got good domestic figures. This, for him, is a very, very big day, whatever the state of the series. And with him will be Dean Elgar, who's been there throughout the series. Played well in Durban especially. Looks a very solid left-hander. So he has kept his place. Others have gone, of course. 5 changes in this African team compared to the side that played at the Wanderers just a few days ago. And for Jimmy Anderson, we talked about him just. Jimmy Anderson's had a relatively quiet series. Whether or not he's taken those remarks from A.B. de Villiers' press conference personally remains to be seen. He's bowled well enough. The ball hasn't swung for him as much as it might have done. The man in picture with him, of course, Stuart Broad, was the man we just talked about, and he grabbed all the headlines at the Wanderers in the previous game. But they are a very, very effective pair with that new ball. So, day 1, Centurion. South Africa won the toss. They're batting first. They're 2-0 down. They're playing for pride. England playing to try and make it 3-0 by the end of this 4th and final test match of the series.
Well, that's a nice start. It was a gentle loosener from Jimmy Anderson. Perfect delivery to get for a debutant, and Stephen Cook has put it away.
Yeah, Stephen Cook off the mark in his first test match, and if he had sat on his bed last night thinking of the ideal start, it would have been a little leg stump half volley that he could whack away through the leg side. Not the greatest delivery. Real loosener from Jimmy Anderson. He's off the mark with a 4.
Pitch will be slow today, I think. It was very wet yesterday afternoon. We were here mid-afternoon, those of us who were doing our jobs, Sean, and coming and just checking out things ahead of the test match.
I'll let that insinuation go past me. Yeah, but I mean, you know what to expect here. First morning at Supersport Park in general, very slow. You need to bowl a foolish length, give that ball every opportunity to swing around, and then the bounce tends to be quite steep because of the slowness of the pitch.
So wait a long time for his chance, hasn't he? Stephen, 33 years of age, lots of runs in first-class cricket. Had to bide his time. There's a nice covering of grass, and I don't think that was the ball digging into the surface so much as just cutting into the layer of grass. That often happens at places like Brisbane, where you get a nice matting of grass. Anderson finds his mark.
that's where Jimmy Anderson needs to be. The perfect line and length, and as you say, the surface will be disturbed. That thick matted grass tends to leave its mark. It's a perfect delivery, nice and full just outside that off stump. And the good news for Stephen Cook is that he's already outdone Dad. Dad only lasted one delivery in his international test debut. He was caught by Tendulkar, bowled Kapil Dev. So big improvement. First one went for 4.
Yes! He was 39, wasn't he, Jimmy, when he made his debut? I think they're the oldest father and son partnership. Must be.
They must be. Should make a debut at 33 and 39.
What were the 2 Pollocks?
Oh, we were 22s or 23. Bowlers always tend to get thrown in earlier. It's only the batsmen who mature later on.
6th father and son partnership for South Africa. Kumar Dharmasena, one of the umpires, out in the middle. Alongside Chris Gaffney from New Zealand. Elgar, the left-hander. So right-hand, left-hand combination for the first time at the top of the order this series. And Anderson again serves up a nice leg stump half volley for Elgar's first ball this time. So 2 boundaries off the first over, 9 for none.
Yeah, also a perfect start there for Dean Elgar. Leg stump half volley. And an easy one to put away in your first delivery. A lot of comments passed by A.B. de Villiers. Well, at this moment in time, it hasn't brought the best out of Jimmy Anderson.
Five changes for South Africa today. Kepler's made his way down here. Is it a long way from the studio?
It is a fair way. You were up there for your touchscreen a little bit. Yeah, so 5 changes, not surprising, I guess, when you 2-0 down in a series. You tend to look for combinations. You're looking for different players to try and make things work. South Africa searching for the right combination.
And Stuart Broad searching, no doubt, for the kind of rhythm that he magically found at the Bullring. And he hurried that game to its conclusion. Cook has given him the same field as Anderson, 3 slips gully, and that deepish